My Airbnb guest left me a review saying that my Pokemon themed Airbnb was not Pokemon enough. So let me give you a tour of my Airbnb and you guys could be the judge of it. So in the living room, I have this collage of Pokemons and then a Mareep. In the dining room, we have a Nidoking. Then we have a Slowking and a Gyarados in the kitchen. In the bedroom, we have a Slowpoke. In the hallway, we have a Ho-Oh and a Hitmonlee. In the bathroom, we have a Horsey. And in the second bedroom, we have an Eevee, Togepi, Pichu, and Teddy.
I agree with the reviewer. Like, that's not Pokemon theme. I mean, yeah, sure, you have some, I guess, Pokemon pictures, which is fine. All kind of similar in theme, which is fine. Right? It looks like they're stenciled or whatever. That's cool. But that's not really Pokemon theme. Why, like, there's Pokemon sheets, Pokemon curtains. Why aren't there Pokemon plush? It's like, all he did is slap pictures. That's it. That doesn't really make it Pokemon theme. Yes, the pictures are Pokemon theme. I don't believe that you could honestly say that your place is Pokemon themed. You don't have anything else besides pictures that are Pokemon related. That's it. Everything else has nothing to do with Pokemon. It just seems like a, I don't know, modern day house, and you slap Pokemon pictures there. That's it. You didn't have, Pokemon statues, Pokemon, I don't know, cups or utensils or just more Pokemon themes. Like, you don't have Pokemon magnets on your refrigerator, right? You don't have, like, I don't know. There's so much Pokemon oriented products that you could literally theme every part of the house Pokemon related. Okay, like all the throw pillows should be Pokemons. Seriously, it's just like you can have a Pokemon land. You can have almost everything in that house transform into Pokemon related things, and it will definitely push it to actually a Pokemon theme place, right? If that's what you're trying to go for, it seems like that's what you're trying to go for. Okay, I mean, if it's not, then fine. Place is accurate, but I mean, if you're trying to go for a Pokemon theme Airbnb, it's not really Pokemon theme. So I agree with the reviewer.
It's my birthday. All I asked for my wife was Pokemon cards, and boy, did she deliver. Let's take a look. She ended up getting me over 40 packs of singles, Surging Sparks, Mega Evolution, 1 Destined Rivals, Phantasmal, and Journey Together. Got me 4 ETBs and 5 booster bundles. Man, did she spoil me. Thank you.
You know, I know my content. I usually post a lot of negativity, right, between men and women, and there's a lot of it. I'm sorry, there's a lot of it, but it doesn't mean that there's no positivity, right? It doesn't mean that there's no love, there's no success. There's plenty of that as well. And when I see it, I want to show it off, right? When I see it, I want to show it off because it deserves to be shown off. Because we, as a human species, only succeed when we're working together. When we are like a partnership, when we are a family, when we are, on the same page, when we love each other. So that was beautiful. I think that's beautiful. And I think that I love it, right? I love it when a geeky guy gets with a woman and she indulges his geekiness. I love it, right? I'm a big geek, so that was beautiful to me. I thought that was extremely beautiful. So, yeah, mad love for that. That's an amazing couple, right? That's an amazing marriage. I hope it will stand the test of time. But yes, I hope that we over time will get better, right? The men and women dynamics, right? I hope we will love each other more and hate each other less. I hope we will, want to be with each other. So, that's beautiful, right? Absolutely beautiful. I love that, the Pokemon stuff. Hope, I'm just as lucky. I hope all my brothers will be just as lucky. That is an AI video, right? I mean, like, initial response, I was shocked. But I mean, when you watch it again and think about it, yeah, it's AI. Right? I mean, even without the tag. But it just made me think, like, could this even happen? Has this ever happened? I've never heard this, like something like this happen. I've seen a video of I think those Japan or whatever, those dry toilets where you gotta squat, right? There's no water or anything, or at least not no filled water. And I've seen rats go up from it, but have rat ever go into an actual, watered toilet before? I've never heard of that. Could it happen? I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, and I would love to know, what would you guys do, right? What would you guys do if something that crazy happened? I mean, like, I would, like, I don't know. I would go insane if that could happen. And it's like up the, I don't know. I think that was crazy. I think that would be a crazy thought. So I would just want to know what would you guys do about that? And could that something happen like that? I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy. What do you guys think? What do you think? What did you think about that video? Who's at fault or whatnot? Now, I'm on the fence, right? I'm on the fence with this. One, you had wild dogs there, so definitely she couldn't go in to give you the package, right? She couldn't put it at your doorstep. And your dog's chewing up, well, that's your dog's fault. Now, why am I on the fence, right? I mean, I would love to know your opinions. That's why, what would you guys think? Because sometimes what do these people think that, are they really going to be on your side? Or, I don't know, sometimes a lot of these people put these videos online to, I don't know, garner sympathy or whatnot, but I think that, it's not 100% that the delivery person's fault. Now, why I'm on the fence is that maybe you could put it, in front of the fence, not over the fence, where the dogs can't have access to it. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a delivery person, so I don't know. Maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's a barren place, right? It looks like I don't think you have Amazon thieves in a place like that, right? So that's where I'm on the fence with. You could put it, before in front of the fence, take a picture of it, and then leave. So that's why I'm on the fence with it, right? That's why I'm, kind of like, okay, I could see that, the logic in they weren't thinking about it. Now, I'll probably say that the Amazon delivery person wasn't thinking that clearly, right? They wanted to put on the property or, within the property. But yeah, I think that was maybe not the best thing. But again, it's your dog's fault for chewing your package, okay? It's your dog's fault for chewing your package. I always think that, right? We have to have a little bit of sympathy for these delivery people because they got a lot to deliver. They're probably sometimes they're underpaid and they have a lot to deliver, so they're not going to think, oh, let me see, how am I going to best place your shit, right? Now, I mean, like, throwing a package is not the best thing. Tossing a package, I kind of get it, okay? I'm not saying it's that crazy. I mean, that's why I want to know what you guys think, right? What would you guys think? I'm just like, I mean, I look at it a little bit more. There are other houses there, so it could be, porch pirates in a sense, right? So who knows, if you put it in front of the gate, people could take it. So I can understand why they would put it, past the gate. So what do you guys think? I gotta admit, the level of talent is absolutely staggering. That was beautiful. I mean, she started at such a disadvantage to show the level of talent she has is unmatched. That was beautiful. That was beautiful level of athleticism, right? So more credit to her, and great. I think she won for that competition was 40 grand. Great, amazing, great that she won that and showed off her amazing talent.
Happy Valentine's Day. Got something for the both of you.
Dad! Oh my gosh, wait, I'm about to be home. Will you wait for me? I can't hear you, you're too far away.
I got you and Marissa something for Valentine's Day.
Wait, can you say that? I'm almost home.
take your time. I'll wait.
That was beautiful. I really wish all children, particularly women, would have good fathers, right? Good, loving fathers. I wish it upon every child, right? So that was beautiful. I mean, that's an amazing father. But what I want to say is that women will use this, okay? Use this as justifications or reasoning why I have high standards or, men should be like this. But this is the thing where a lot of women don't realize, right? That's a man that saw you when you were a newborn and fell in love with you when you were a newborn. He fell in love with you when you were a newborn, and he continued to love you throughout your life, right? That's a man that, essentially loves you unconditionally. Essentially, I mean, I think there's within reason, right? I mean, no parent is, I'm not saying no parents, but I don't think not many parents would be 100% unconditional, right? So, but still, it's within more reason than any other, non-conditional type of love. So to say that, oh, my father treated me so well like this, every other man or any man I deal with should do the same. But the problem is that any man you deal with don't know you. They don't know you from a lick of dirt, right? They didn't fall in love with you, which is would be kind of weird when you were a newborn. They didn't fall in love with you when you when you said daddy, when you walked. This is the thing where a lot of women gotta realize that when it comes to that mindset, right? My dad treats me amazing, so any man that deals with me should do the same. But any man that deals with you don't know you, right? They have no reason to treat you just as amazing as your father. Because here's the thing: any man that even deals with you and treats you amazing as your father, that's not a guarantee that you will be with him, right? That's not a guarantee that, oh, he's gonna be the love of your life if he treats you, brings you flowers, every day or every other day or every Valentine's or all this stuff. There's no guarantee, okay, that happens. The problem is that women negate that. You both have to get to know each other, right? So you both have to build the foundation of love, right? Foundation of liking each other. I believe every husband, right, should do that. Husbands, yes. A man you just started to get to know, a man that you're beginning to date or maybe date, right? Maybe become a boyfriend. No, they shouldn't. So this is the thing where a lot of women gotta hone back their expectations, control their standards to a more reasonable degree. Your husband should do this, right? Should be bringing you flowers, right? Automatically every Valentine's or whatever, okay? The man that you're talking to, right, on talking stage shouldn't be doing this.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Oh, hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job.
I could do anything. I want to break these stereotypes, right? And one propaganda is that women are natural nurturers. I want to break that, because I honestly believe it doesn't matter if you're born a man or a woman, okay? It's your character that makes you want to protect children. It's your character, right? It's your morals, it's your values that want you to love children, protect children over yourself. It's not just because you're born a woman doesn't mean that you're a natural mom. That doesn't mean that you're a natural nurturer. No, right? It's not something that's born within you. It's just it's what you develop. It's who you are. Okay, your values. She had plenty of time to take her kid away from a very slow-moving cow, but she focused on her own life, supposedly, rather than the child's life. Okay, when you could actually save or think about both lives, but no. And she's slowly, like you see it, she's slowly closing the door, not quickly. She's watching. So you slowly close the door. You obviously see that the kid is there. I don't even know. Maybe, I'm assuming it's her child. You see the child's there. That's the thing where I want to break, because we constantly create this narrative that women are the nurturers, women protect children, women do. No. It's just good women do, right? Good people do. Because just like good fathers do, okay? It doesn't mean that automatically if you're a man, you're bad. Automatically if you're a woman, you're good. No. It's just people, okay? Character, morality, principles. It's who you are inside, not what you're born, not the gender you're born with, or race. It's like we put so much emphasis on a lot of superficial shit. And that's the stereotypes I want to break. That's the propaganda I want to break, right? Being someone good doesn't mean that you have to be born a woman or born whatever. It's who you are inside. Things like this is just... Yeah. And I recently saw a video, what is it? I think it was a while back, with women, I forgot what it was. There was an interview with a whole bunch of women, right? It's like, would they kill for their children or whatever? I don't know, something like that. But there's plenty of videos that show you that women, we need to break that propaganda. Being a woman doesn't automatically mean that you're the best thing for kids ever. So
Is the state of Georgia going to help her with Pampers, with daycare, so she can go to school and get an education, to be able to get a job, to all these other things, to be able to support this baby that I was now. But these are just the questions that I would. No, but these are good questions. Ask the state of Georgia. If you guys are going to make this law, then I would want to know what other things you have in place to support this young woman.
What are you doing, Michael B. Jordan? You're worth tens of millions of dollars. You donate the diapers. You donate the wipes. This line of reasoning says if you don't support welfare programs, then you have to support the murder of babies, and that is just not true. The truth is, pregnancy centers in the state of Georgia and everywhere are already showing up and providing all of the things, doing all of the things Michael B. Jordan says need to be done. So volunteer at your local pregnancy center, Michael B. Jordan. Donate some of your millions of dollars to these pregnancy centers. Until then, I don't want to hear your argument about supporting abortion.
This is my thing, right? I mean, like, it's funny being if you're pro-black, yet you're pro the largest amount of abortions, right? The black community has I believe, right? They have the largest amount of abortions. How are you pro-black when you are fine with the killing of your population? How's that? And this is the thing where you want to question the state of Georgia, yet you don't want to question why is she having unprotected sex, or why is she having sex with a man that she's not going to be married to? Why is she having sex with a man that's not even there, right? Why is she giving a kid to a man that, you know what, probably is not a good man to have a kid with? Right? Why is there such a high single mother rate? Why is there such a low marriage rate? Why don't you ask that question that actually benefit your community? Why don't you critically think about things that actually benefit your community? This is why I talk about it. Even though I get a lot of pushback, a lot of hate because, I'm Asian, and why isn't Asian person talk about it? Because you people don't talk about it. You don't. Not when you have a platform, not when you have a voice, but you don't make the platform, or if you have the platform, you don't voice it. At least not my FYP, right? At least not my FYP. I'll show you what I see. And here's a man that's very powerful, right? Has a big voice, has a powerful platform. What is he talking about? Not the single mother rate, not the low marriage rate, not the broken family, not nothing. Oh, what is the state going to do to help you keep a child that you chose to make? That's the insanity. This is the thing. It's not the state's responsibility that you chose to make a child, right? The state doesn't want you just to delete something that you made. You made it. You made that child. Yet you think it's a good idea to delete it, right? I mean, like, let's think about it in a state perspective. It is a good thing that they have a high population. It's a good thing. It's not a good thing that they have a low population, right? Let's think about state, right? Take it out from any other thing. And why would the state care that you can't take care of your baby, but you thought you could make it, right? You thought you could make your own. You thought you could make a baby. So why should the state involve itself in trying to help you take care of the baby? And to be honest, it does, right? Like, I believe every state has a SNAP program, right? Have a welfare program. Every state has it. So actually, every state does help you with taking care of your baby. But why should it? Why should it? To be honest, I believe states should change their programs or change their programs to help more families instead of single parents. I believe more money should be going to families than single parents. Now, I'm not saying zero money, but I say very little money, because we should incentivize making families, not making broken homes, right? And yet, here's a man with a powerful platform, his voice, right? His name value. Yet he doesn't say that. He doesn't say we should be having programs that would strengthen black families, not programs that will continue to destroy the black community. I believe, right? The black community would have a higher, voting power, higher power if they didn't kill millions of their babies, right? They would have a bigger population than they do now. I'm not saying that they would overturn any the white population, but they would have a bigger population, a bigger power. But they don't, because they're deleting their own population. So I think it's ridiculous. Why should the state help you when you chose to have a child? They're just saying that, just don't marry, just don't delete a child because you are irresponsible. Just don't do that, right? You thought you could make a child. Well, then suffer the consequences of it.
I can't do anything. I can't even bathe myself. My kids have to do that for me. Makes me feel like a burden to them. And I have to take care of my mom. I wipe her, bathe her, make sure she's clean. And I do get tired.
After surgery, this woman can't stand or walk, but she refuses any help. Why would she choose to do this? She won't cooperate with physical therapy. Whenever the medical staff tries to assist her, she firmly rejects. The doctors hope she'll get better by losing weight to regain mobility. Her daughter, Sarah, is extremely worried and can't understand why her mother won't try. Mara almost always depends on her daughter, but every time Sarah tries to convince her, it ends in failure. Even though Mara knows food is harmful to her health, she continues to fill her stomach with all kinds of food. Even knowing these foods are destroying her body, she keeps eating. Whenever the medical staff tries to help her sit up,
Marla, can you sit up? You have to make progress, and there's absolutely no reason for you not to be able to walk.
No, I will not, Dr.
Huh?
No.
She looks completely impatient. She prefers lying in bed, refusing to move, rejecting any change. Helpless, the doctors can only rely on the nurse's help, lifting her legs and forcing her to exercise. Doctors and family stress again and again. Time is critical for her recovery. She must start losing weight and taking care of herself, or her life will be in serious danger. But Mara doesn't want to change. She doesn't like their attitude. She just wants to leave the hospital, not wanting to face the tough changes ahead. Will she realize the crisis, take action, and turn things around? That's still an open question.
This is why a lot of times I'm a pro-choice, because you know what? You want to F up your life? Go for it, right? You want to kill babies? Go for it, right? You want to, ruin your body? Go for it, okay? I may see those things as stupid, but you know what? People are stupid, right? people are egotistical, selfish. They don't care about nothing but themselves. They don't care about the world, right? Continuing of the human species, abortion. They don't care about their children, right? A fat, extremely obese woman, right? Enslaving her kids to do her bidding, right? Do her work, to take care of her, okay? And I'll talk about the kids soon too, but this is the thing where just let these people, right, suffer. This is the thing where it's also why I'm not an avid of American foreign policy. I'm going all over the place, but it's not that. It's just that let other people do their thing, right? If they're going to suffer, if they're going to, maybe I'm being nihilistic, right? But it's at the end of the day, okay? We don't realize human beings, right? Human beings can be very self-destructive. And sometimes we think that we are, I don't know, on a moral high ground. I want to save that person. But a lot of times, we want to save the person while that person doesn't want to save themselves, right? So I'm like, maybe I'm just being an atheist. Maybe I'm just like, cynical in that. So I'm like, let these people suffer then, right? They don't want the help, okay? And now we want to help them. I just find it stupid seeing nurses trying to help her move. No, you want to be obese and can't move. You want to, I don't know, just I'll let you suffer, wallow in your suffering. Now the kids, right? They're enablers. Leave. She's not gonna chase you down. She ain't gonna chase you down. Leave. You kid, leave. But no, these kids most likely are useless adults. Okay, most likely dependent on her, her government assistance money. Could be, right? Yeah, it's crazy that we are assisting these delusional people, right? These terrible people, but our government does. So I think it's just part enablers, people with good intentions, but think that they're on a moral high ground. No, let her suffer, right? She has no accountability, right? She doesn't realize that she had put herself in this situation and still fighting people helping her. So just let her suffer. Let her suffer.
The real reason there aren't any women in the top 100 in the world at chess isn't what you think. One of the oldest explanations for why there are fewer women at the highest levels of chess is biology. Female brains are smaller and unsuited to a game like chess, but modern neuroscience doesn't support this. Male brains are slightly larger in overall volume, but women tend to have greater neuronal density in certain regions, so the total number of neurons can be very similar. In other words, size does not equal intelligence. And whilst researchers have found differences in cognitive abilities, they've only found small average differences. So if it's not about brain size, then it must be about IQ. See this graph? This shows that men have greater variability in IQ scores than women. This means you see more men at the very highest level and the very lowest level of the intelligence spectrum. People have argued this is the biggest reason you see more elite male chess players. There are two problems with this approach. Firstly, you need to prove that IQ predicts chess ability, and it's been shown that once players reach strong competition levels, practice hours, training quality, and experience matter way more than intelligence. In fact, some research shows among elite chess players that IQ doesn't play into it at all. Secondly, when you look at the ratio of men to women at the highest IQ levels, the ratio is something like 1 to 4, 1 to 5. So 1 woman for every 5 men at the highest level. But in chess, there are 0 women in the top 100 at the moment, and that's way beyond what variability can explain. So if it's not about biology, what is it?
It's about statistics. It's not that hard to understand. It's chess. So when, let's say 100 players, right, and 99 of it are men and one is woman, the chance that, let's say the top 10 would equal, would be all men is pretty high. It's statistics. You can think this in pretty much in any kind of case when there is a disparity in how many people participate in something. Let's say the top models, right, the top paid models are women. Well, no duh. It's majority a woman kind of profession. Nursing, the same thing. I mean, top paid people are in the nursing field are women because the majority are women. When the majority of anything is, let's say, one gender, there's no surprise that the top performing people within that thing, like profession or hobby or whatever, would be the majority of people, right? If it's majority of men are in chess, it's going to be the majority. It's going to be mostly men at the top. Just like, let's say, gaming. In gaming, it's, what is it? 90% men, 10% women. So the chance that 10% of women would outgame a man isn't that high because the disparity is so much, right? You have 1 good woman to every, let's say, 9 good men. That's not gonna help you get a leg up in the rankings or whatever. So it's statistics, right? It's it's statistics. It is, and this is something that a lot of women can't grasp because they think that everything should be fair when honestly it's already started out not fair, right? 50% of women are not going into chess, right? So just like, let's say, the pay gap thing, it's already not going to be fair, and it will most likely never be fair. 50% of women won't go into engineering. 50% of women won't go into technology, won't go into mathematics, won't go into it's like, it will never be that, okay? Just like nursing, just like social work, 50% of men won't be going into certain kind of fields. It's just never going to happen. So you won't have a good ratio when the numbers are different.